Chad Dawson is our guest. He's lead programmer of a game that comes out next week. It's the return of the Psychonauts. It's a VR adventure on Sony PlayStation VR called The Rhombus of Ruin. And it's fun. It's suitable for all ages. It's challenging. It's a 3D platformer adventure as with all of the Double Fine games. A great sense of humor and a great, unique, artistic look to it. I love it. I just love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Big fans of Double Fine. Always have been. Broken Age is mind-boggling. I mean, you guys...
It's a gorgeous game.
What's neat about Double Fine is it's not a traditional game studio. In fact, you have these, what were they called, Amnesia sessions?
We do. That's sort of we call our game jam, where we take a break for a couple weeks. They call them Amnesia because we're supposed to forget about the project you're working on, work on something different, and then forget about it and get back to what you were doing after 2 weeks. That's where the name Amnesia came up. But it's a 2-week game jam, which kind of gives you a little bit more time than a weekend to make something that actually works, that you can play through a little bit further.
And some of your games actually came out of those, right?
Yeah, Stacking, I believe, Iron Brigade, Once Upon a Monster, Costume Quest, all those came from our game jams, maybe a few others as well.
So cool.
It's great internally as a team for us to try out new ideas, but when they end up becoming real games, that's even better.
One of the things that tells you that Double Fine is not your usual game studio is that some of these games, not hits originally, kind of, mediocre response, and then became beloved over time. I think Psychonauts might even qualify for that.
Right.
Became and it shows that you're artists. When a lot of movies don't succeed on opening weekend, but people come to them, they discover them, and years later, I was listening to an interview with Debbie Reynolds. She said Singing in the Rain was a flop. But but over time, people recognized what a great movie it was, and it became one of the best, in fact, one of the top 50 movies of all time, according to AFI. And I think that's somewhat true also of Double Fine stuff. Some of the games don't immediately take off because they're different. But over time, people have come to love these games.
Well, they all have a unique look and feel to them. I think when you see them, you can take something else in the genre and put it side by side, and you can say, oh, that game looks different. Here's 5 games that look the same. This Double Fine one looks different or stands out. And, initially that can be a little shocking. People like a little bit more of the same. But over time, I think when you look back at most of the things you like, it's something that stood out. Maybe it was a little surprising at the time, but it sticks with you because it was different.
I think that's exactly right, yeah.
We're a very artistically driven company.
Yeah.
Often a lot of our ideas start with paintings and drawings that our artists have made. And at the beginning of every project, we have sort of art jam where all the artists get together and create a huge amount of art. It's made for a lot of good art books if you're looking for any video game art books, because we have a huge supply of it. And we put it up on the walls, and it inspires the whole team. And lots of times the games come out of those drawings.
I see.
As a programmer, some of the tricky thing as a programmer is you see this crazy drawing an artist made, and you're like, how are we going to build that? But it's both a challenge and inspiring. I think you look at the stuff that's already out there, and you're like, I know how to make that. Done it before, maybe. Yeah. But our artists come up with enough crazy things that we're always challenged.